On September 8, 2025, the decomposed body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found wrapped in plastic inside the front trunk of a Tesla Model 3 registered to Rising Singer, known professionally as David. The case immediately thrust David, a 20-year-old Houston-born artist whose viral hit Romantic Homicide propelled him to fame, into the spotlight. Rumors swirled online fueled by Discord screenshots and fan speculation suggesting an inappropriate relationship between the two, despite their 6-year age gap. A tattoo on David's hand eerily mirrored Celeste's, and unverified messages implied she had run away to be with him during his tour. Though Labby has not named David a suspect, the Tesla's registration to him sparked immediate scrutiny. His career imploded overnight. U.S. tour dates in San Francisco and Los Angeles were canceled, European shows pulled from Ticketmaster, and collaborations like his Hollister Crocs line vanished. Interscope Records halted his album rollout, and he retreated from public view. Represented by high-profile defense attorney Blair Burke, the investigation unfolded rapidly. On September 17, LAPD executed a search warrant on the $4.1 million Hollywood Hills mansion David rented, seizing electronics and surveillance footage. Yet, as weeks passed, frustration mounted. Enter the latest twist. On October 14, 2025, the New York Post reported that mansion owner Malden Trifunovic, exasperated by LAPD's radio silence, hired private investigator Steve Fisher, a veteran missing persons specialist and FAA-certified drone pilot, to probe the property independently. Fisher's mandate: review security cameras, interview witnesses, and reconstruct a timeline to determine if Celeste ever set foot there. "We're not interfering with LAP," Trifunovic told the Post, "but we deserve answers about what happened in our home." Fisher's probe yielded a bombshell. In interviews with Hindustan Times October 12, 2025, and a live stream with podcaster Lauren Conlon October 9, 2025, he revealed photographic evidence placing Celeste alive in 2025, potentially as late as August, contradicting initial forensic estimates of her death occurring weeks before discovery. She returned home multiple times after going missing, but wasn't removed from the NCIC database, Fisher stated, highlighting systemic failures in tracking runaways. This reshapes the timeline. Celeste vanished in April 2024 but resurfaced intermittently, possibly during David's summer tour stops in Silver Spring, Cleveland, and Boston, where blurry concert footage sparked sighting rumors on Reddit's r/David. Meanwhile, Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman addressed the case on October 15, 2025, via TMZ. "It's firmly with LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division. No major breakthroughs yet, but we're monitoring closely. No arrests have been made, and David remains cooperative but silent." The swatting hoax at his parents' Texas home on September 18, complete with armed officers responding to a fake 911 call about gunfire, added paranoia, with audio analysis suggesting a voice modulator. ABC7, October 10, 2025. David's subsequent transfer of 2 Texas properties to his mother's trust, September 18 and 22, fueled speculation of asset shielding. As the probe deepens, questions linger. Was Celeste entangled in David's world? Did systemic oversights enable her vulnerability? With Fisher's independent findings potentially pressuring LAPD, justice for Celeste, a bright-eyed teen whose 15th birthday fell a day before her body's discovery, hangs in the balance. The case underscores the perils of fame, runaway teens, and the digital echo chamber amplifying half-truths, leaving a grieving family and a stunned public awaiting closure. The public attention due to the youth of the victim, coupled with the gruesome condition of her body wrapped in plastic and hidden in a car trunk for weeks, evokes a profound sense of horror and urgency for justice. This tragedy, uncovered in the affluent Hollywood Hills, underscores the vulnerability of runaway teens, amplifying calls for accountability and systemic reform in tracking missing persons. The celebrity factor intensifies the case's allure. David, a 20-year-old artist behind the viral hit Romantic Homicide, faced immediate fallout, canceled tour dates in San Francisco and Los Angeles, scrapped European shows, and severed brand deals with Hollister and Crocs, as reported by ABC7 on October 10, 2025. His transfer of 2 properties to his mother's trust on September 18 and 20, 2025, sparked speculation of legal maneuvering, further fueling public intrigue. The involvement of high-profile defense attorney Blair Burke adds a layer of drama, suggesting a battle to protect David's reputation amid unconfirmed rumors of a connection with Celeste. Controversy swirls around unverified hypotheses that Celeste's family, grieving in Lake Elsinore, might have accepted compensation to avoid prolonged legal battles, possibly tied to the $25,000 raised via GoFundMe for her funeral on October 6, 2025. These rumors, though lacking evidence, highlight public fascination with potential cover-ups and the intersection of fame, wealth, and justice. The case's complexity, unresolved cause of death, systemic failures, and a celebrity's fall ensures its hold on the collective imagination, demanding answers for a young life lost. Detailed analysis of hypotheses. In this speculative scenario, Celeste Rivas Hernandez's parents, overwhelmed by their daughter's repeated runaways and the chaos of family life in Lake Elsinore, California, harbored a dark secret. They knew she was alive and entangled in a dangerous world far from home. The footage from September 8, 2024, an camera capturing Celeste's explosive argument with neighbors. Her voice raw with profanity and desperation served as a silent testament to their awareness. Neighbors later told investigators they recognized missing posters plastered across the town since April 2024, yet no frantic calls followed. Celeste, defiant and yearning for escape, had returned briefly, screaming at a family over a perceived prank, her words laced with slurs that echoed her inner turmoil. But her parents, exhausted by 11 prior police visits from February to April 2025, calls marked by domestic strife and runaway episodes, chose silence. They knew she was slipping away again, perhaps drawn to the allure of a rising star's orbit. Months later, private investigator Steve Fisher's revelation shattered the illusion, a photograph placing Celeste alive in August 2025, her face unmistakable amid the glow of David's summer tour. She had resurfaced intermittently, returning home 2 or 3 times after her initial disappearance. Yet the National Crime Information Center NC Sentry lingered, a bureaucratic ghost. In this hypothesis, her parents turned a blind eye not from neglect, but calculation. Whispers of contact with David's inner circle manager Josh Marshall, the orchestrator of the singer's whirlwind ascent, or high-powered attorney Blair Burke, guardian of Hollywood's tarnished secrets, painted a grim bargain. For a quiet payout, they agreed to withhold updates, sparing the family the spectacle of a civil lawsuit that could drag through courts, exposing their fractured home and Celeste's vulnerabilities. The deal, imagined as a discreet wire transfer or offshore arrangement, promised relief from mounting debts and the stigma of failure. Marshall, David's steadfast handler who signed the $20 a month Hollywood Hills lease just months prior, allegedly brokered the terms, leveraging Burke's ironclad reputation for silencing scandals. In exchange for their discretion, no alerts to NCIC, no demands for accountability, the family received funds to quiet the storm, avoiding the protracted agony of depositions and trials. Celeste's fleeting returns became ghosts they ignored, her pleas drowned out by the promise of financial peace. As her body lay hidden in the Tesla's trunk for weeks, decaying under the California sun, her parents clung to the illusion of resolution, trading justice for a fragile truce. This pact, born of desperation and enabled by fame's shadowy underbelly, left Celeste adrift, her final months a tragic footnote in a narrative of complicity and loss. The hypothetical unravels the heartbreaking calculus: survival over scrutiny, silence over salvation, all while the world demanded answers that would never come. The speculation surrounding Celeste Rivas' family, potentially concealing her whereabouts in exchange for financial settlements, hinges on a patchwork of media reports and investigative insights, each scrutinized for reliability and context. Center this narrative is the TMZ footage from September 29, 2025, capturing a heated confrontation at the family's Lake Elsinore apartment on September 8, 2024, precisely 1 year before her remains were discovered. The grainy Nest camera recording shows a young woman, identified by neighbors as Celeste through her distinctive curly hair and posture matching missing posters, unleashing a profanity-laced tirade at a neighboring family over a perceived prank. Her high-pitched screams pierce the night, laced with slurs and accusations, as a man retorts in defense. Neighbors confirmed to TMZ that they recognized her despite the dim lighting, noting her brief return aligned with unverified sightings to April 2024 disappearance. This clip, while visceral, serves primarily as temporal evidence of her survival months after going missing, not direct proof of parental complicity. It underscores familial tensions but lacks audio or visual ties to any monetary arrangement. Complementing this is Steve Fisher's disclosure in Hindustan Times on October 9, 2025, affirming Celeste returned home 2-3 times after her initial vanishing, yet remained listed in the National Crime Information Center NCIC. Fisher, hired by the Hollywood Hills mansion owner, described possessing an undated 2025 photograph, her potentially from August, captured informally, though he withheld specifics to safeguard the probe. "I don't have proof of communication from her, but I do have an image in 2025, he stated, highlighting bureaucratic lapses. Despite returns, no updates cleared her from the database. This revelation, drawn from neighbor interviews and Ring camera reviews, implies systemic oversight rather than deliberate suppression by the family, who Fisher noted appeared distressed in records. The reports sourcing Fisher's direct quotes lends credibility, positioning it as a pivotal timeline shifter without implicating hush money. Riverside PD logs, as detailed in NewsNation on October 2, 2025, reveal 11 deputy responses to the February 2024 and April 2025, including 3 on March 19, 2024. The same day surveillance caught Celeste at a local liquor store. Calls range from minor crime investigations to suspicious circumstances, with 4 generating reports and 3 follow-ups. Ex-boyfriend Damian Hernandez described the environment as strict, fueling runaway patterns, yet logs show no formal obstruction of justice. These records, obtained via public request, illustrate chronic instability domestic disputes, not evasion for profit, contrasting sharply with compensation claims. A comment from September 19, 2025, alleged David paid the family to stay quiet, echoing widespread online chatter. Similarly, discussions from September 29, 2025, posited she was on the David tour but left it alone because of the payout, tying into GoFundMe's suspicions. These unsubstantiated claims amplify drama, but crumble under scrutiny. Lady confirms no financial probes, and family statements emphasize grief over gain. Collectively, these sources paint a portrait of vulnerability and oversight, not conspiracy, urging caution against conflating hardship with malice. The speculation that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's parents concealed her whereabouts for financial gain stems from a mix of psychological impulses and circumstantial triggers, amplified by the true crime community's appetite for drama. A key catalyst is the testimony of Celeste's ex-boyfriend Damian Hernandez, reported by TMZ on October 1, 2025, describing the family as harsh and strict. Damian's account paints a household marked by controlling police visits from February 2024 to April 2025 for domestic disputes, and runaways suggest a volatile environment. Celeste, a 14-year-old yearning for freedom, reportedly fled to escape rigid rules, a narrative that fuels public suspicion of parental neglect or complicity. This perception of a dysfunctional family primes viewers to question their motives, casting them as capable of prioritizing money over accountability. The $25,000 raised via GoFundMe by Sep 2025 for Celeste's funeral held October 6 further stokes speculation. To some, this sum crowdsourced from a grieving Hispanic community in Lake Elsinore appears suspiciously large, prompting theories it's a cover for a payout from David or his team. This aligns with the true crime genre's psychological pull, as seen in the Ready to Glare video October 15, 2025, 2,500 views, which uses a spoiler alert to hook viewers with a dramatic twist. Did the family take money to stay quiet? The public's craving for such twists reflects a cognitive bias towards sensational narratives, where complex grief is oversimplified into greed. True crime fans, conditioned by cases like Gabby Petito, seek betrayal to explain tragedy, projecting ulterior motives onto a family's silence amid loss. Yet, the possibility of parents concealing Celeste's whereabouts for payment carries high legal risk and clashes with their evident grief. Deliberately withholding NCIC updates could eviction charges, a gamble unlikely for parents described as heartbroken in NBC Los Angeles, September 19, 2025. Their vigil on September 21 and GoFundMe pleas for justice suggest emotional devastation, not calculated deceit. Psychologically, accepting a payout would require suppressing parental instinct, an act incongruent with their public anguish. The community's speculation, while fueled by real tensions, thrives on a voyeuristic urge to unravel scandals, often at the expense of a grieving family's truth. In this speculative scenario, the $25,000 raised through the GoFundMe campaign launched on September 19, 2025, to fund Celeste Rivas Hernandez's funeral on October 6, 2025, masks a darker transaction. The funds, publicly presented as heartfelt donations from the Lake Elsinore Hispanic community, are hypothesized to be a front for a concealed from singer David or his team. This financial maneuver, orchestrated through intermediaries like manager Josh Marshall or attorney Blair Burke, allegedly ensured the family's silence, sparing David from a civil lawsuit over serious allegations. Concealment of body tied to Celeste's decomposed remains found in his Tesla on September 8, 2025, or grooming linked to unverified rumors of inappropriate relationship. A comment by True Crime Fan 87 under the Ready to Glare YouTube video October 15, 2025 captures this theory. GoFundMe is just a shell, real money from David. The imagined deal unfolds discreetly. David's team, aware of the legal peril posed by the Tesla discovery and Discord-fueled rumors, channels funds through anonymous donations or off-counts to the GoFundMe, blending them with legitimate contributions. In return, Celeste's parents, reeling from 11 police visits to their home from February 2024 to April 2025, and the public scrutiny of their daughter's runaway patterns, agree to forego legal action. The payout, disguised as community support, covers funeral costs while averting a courtroom battle that could expose embarrassing details about Celeste's final months, possibly involving her presence at David's 2025 tour stops. This arrangement, fueled by the family's financial strain and desire to avoid a protracted fight, trades justice for closure, leaving the true source of the funds buried beneath an era of crowdfunding goodwill. Speculation that the $25,000 for Celeste Rivas Hernandez's funeral serves as a facade for hidden payments from David draws from fragmented online claims and investigative breadcrumbs, each dissected for veracity and intent. A pivotal assertion emerges from a September 19, 2025, comment alleging funeral money from payouts, tying the crowdfunding total collected in Burr 6, 2025, service to undisclosed funds from David's camp. This echoes a broader narrative. The money, ostensibly from sympathetic donors in Lake Elsinore, Mass. Compensation for silence on concealment of body or grooming allegations, allowing the family to sidestep civil suits amid the LAP probe. The theory gains traction through the timing of David's asset maneuvers, spotlighted in Vibe magazine on October 14, 2025. Legal documents reveal David transferred deeds for two Houston-area Texas homes, one in Cypress, the other nearby, from his Thorn Rose Trust to his mother's name on September 18 and 22, 2025. The first transfer coincided with a swatting hoax at the Cypress property, where armed officers responded to a fabricated 911 call about a shooting and dead woman, mirroring the case's grim details. Vibe notes the homes, previously linked to David's family, parents and siblings resided in one, now shield potential liabilities as the investigation intensifies. Critics interpret this as hidden debt payment, a strategic divestment to insulate assets from lawsuits, indirectly funding family settlements like the GoFundMe. The magazine cites TMZ's document review, emphasizing the transfer's proximity to Lia's September teen search of David's Hollywood Hills rental, where electronics and footage were seized. Another layer unfolds in an October 14, 2025, discussion questioning if the family is entitled to money from songs using her voice, implying royalties from David's tracks like Romantic Homicide could supplement funeral costs covertly. This posits the GoFundMe as a laundering mechanism and legitimate grief donations with illicit proceeds. Yet, these sources falter. Vibe clarifies the transfers as routine estate planning, not payouts, with no financial trails to the family. GoFundMe transparency logs show grassroots contributions, not anonymous windfalls. Collectively, the evidence, timing, coincidences, and unverified whispers fuels a tantalizing cover-up tale but lacks forensic heft, reducing it to conjecture amid a grieving family's verifiable pleas for justice. The hypothesis that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family concealed her whereabouts in exchange for hidden funds from David, funneled through the $25,000 GoFundMe launched on September 19, 2025, crumbles under scrutiny, revealing thin evidence riddled with speculation rather than substance. At its core, the theory posits the crowdfunding intended for Celeste's October 6, 2025 funeral as a smokescreen for a payout to silence civil suits over concealment of body or grooming. Yet, the GoFundMe's transparency undermines this narrative. TMZ's October 15, 2025 report details the campaign's public ledger, showing attributions from everyday supporters in Lake Elsinore and beyond, with no trace of donations from David, his manager Josh Marshall, or attorney Blair Burke. The platform's verification processes ensure donor anonymity is limited, and no anomalies such as large, untraceable transfers appear in the audit trail. This public accessibility, audited for legitimacy, renders the hidden money claim implausible, as it would require an elaborate laundering scheme detectable by basic oversight. Similarly, David's asset transfers deeding two Houston-area Texans to his mother's trust on September 18 and 22, 2025 do not support notions of compensation to the family. The New York Post's October 14, 2025 analysis frames these moves as standard legal defense tactics amid LAP scrutiny, shielding personal assets from potential liens or judgments in an ongoing probe. Legal experts cited in the report emphasize such transfers are proactive estate planning, not covert payments, especially post-swatting incidents at the Cypress property. No financial links tie these actions to Celeste's family. The deeds predate any funeral funding discussions, aligning with David's broader retreat from public life, rather than targeted hush money. This pattern echoes the Gabby Petito case, where no such hidden payouts materialized despite intense speculation. Petito's family pursued wrongful death suits against Brian Laundrie's parents and estate, securing a $3 million judgment in November 2022, but received minimal actual compensation due to the estate's insolvency, far from a settlement to silence. Emotional distress claims against the Laundries settled confidentially in February 2024, but public records show no preemptive funeral funding schemes. Instead, GoFundMe efforts were transparently community-driven, yielding over $7 million without controversy. Like Celeste's case, Petito's family focused on advocacy and not capitulation, highlighting how grief-stricken relatives rarely trade justice for cash. The Rivas hypothesis, bereft of forensic or transactional proof, mirrors these unfounded whispers, perpetuating harm without advancing truth. The speculation that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's brother or ex-boyfriend Damian Hernandez was prevented from suing David due to a financial deal hinges on fragmented sources, each leaning heavily on interpretive leaps rather than concrete proof. A pivotal piece comes from a TMZ interview on October 1, 2025, with Damian Hernandez, Celeste's ex-boyfriend, who described her Lake Elsinore home as a pressure cooker. Her parents were harsh, really strict. Celeste kept running away because they wouldn't let her see friends. Damian's account, raw and unfiltered, paints a family gripped by 11 police visits from February 2024 to April 2025 documenting domestic disputes and runaway incidents. His words, drawn from personal experience before Celeste's April 24 disappearance, fuel the narrative that her parents stifled legal action potentially from Damien or an unnamed sibling to protect a payout from David's team, possibly manager Josh Marshall or attorney Blair Burke, to avoid a civil suit over concealment of body or rumored grooming. A September 19, 2025, comment asserts, brother wants to sue, family stops, suggesting an unnamed sibling, aware of Celeste's 2025 tour sightings with David, pushed for accountability but was silenced by parental intervention. This aligns with another claim under the Ready to Glare video October 15, 2025 by Conspiracy King, they replying a financial deal dictated family dynamics. These assertions draw heavily from a TMZ video on September 29, 2025, showcasing Nest camera footage from September 8, 2024. The clip captures Celeste, visibly agitated, in a profanity-laced argument with neighbors, hurling slurs over a perceived prank. Neighbors identified her to TMZ, noting her return post-disappearance, which viewers interpret as evidence of a controlling family that knew her whereabouts yet failed to act, possibly for financial gain. This footage, while confirming Celeste's survival months after April 2024, is misconstrued as proof of deliberate concealment. Its raw intensity, her voice cracking, neighbors' defensive retorts feeds perceptions of a chaotic household, but no financial transactions are referenced. The family's public grief, expressed through a vigil on September 21, a GoFundMe raising $25,000 by October 6, 2025, counters claims of suppression. Damien's interview highlights tension, not collusion, and no court records show lawsuits initiated or blocked. These sources, vivid yet speculative, amplify drama but lack evidence tying parental control to a payout, leaving the hypothesis grounded in misinterpretation rather than fact. In this speculative narrative, Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family, aware of her presence during David's August 2025 tour, chose financial gain over pursuing justice, driven by turbulent household marked by 11 police visits between February 2024 and April 2025. The Lake Elsinore family, grappling with domestic disputes and Celeste's repeated runaways, allegedly knew she was trailing the singer, possibly glimpsed in blurry concert footage from Silver Spring or Boston but opted to prioritize money over accountability. A comment on October 14, 2025, posits family entitled to royalty, suggesting they sought a share of profits from David's songs, like Romantic Homicide, rumored to feature Celeste's voice or influence. Another claim on October 10, 2025 asserts, family gets payouts to avoid drama, implying a deal with David's team manager Josh Marshall or attorney Blair Burke to sidestep public scrutiny. Under this hypothesis, the family's decision was shaped by their harsh history. Police logs document arguments, runaway reports, and suspicious circumstances, painting a home where control trumped care. Instead of alerting authorities or the National Crime Information Center (NCIC) when Celeste surfaced during tour stops, they accepted funds, potentially royalties or a discreet settlement to cover mounting debts or the $25,000 GoFundMe for her October 6, 2025 funeral. This payout, masked as community support or song earnings, ensured silence, sparing the family a media frenzy, could expose their dysfunction or Celeste's rumored ties to David. The deal, brokered in the shadows of Hollywood's legal machinery, traded justice for financial relief, leaving Celeste's final days possibly ending in tragedy on the road unquestioned, as her family buried both their daughter and the truth to escape their fractured past. The speculation that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family prioritized financial gain over justice, knowing she was alive during David's August on a thin web of media and online claims, each scrutinized for credibility. A cornerstone is the TMZ footage from September 29, 2025, capturing Celeste in a heated argument with neighbors on September 8, 2024, outside her Lake Elsinore home. The Nest camera video shows her, identifiable by her curly hair and voice, unleashing slurs in a dispute over a prank, confirming returned months after her April 2024 disappearance. Neighbors' statements to TMZ affirm her presence, but the clip offers no hint of financial motives, only familial tension, making its use as evidence of a payout speculative. Private investigator Steve Fisher's statement times on October 9, 2025, adds weight, confirming Celeste returned home 2-3 times post-disappearance, including sightings potentially as late as October 25 during David's tour. Fisher, hired by the Hollywood Hills mansion owner, cites an undated 2025 photo but withholds details to protect the investigation. She wasn't removed from NCIC despite returns, he notes, pointing to systemic failures, not parental collusion for money. His findings, based on neighbor interviews, lack any reference to royalties or settlements, undermining the hypothesis. A comment under the Ready to Glare video October 15, 2025 by Drama Queenal asserts, they knew she was on but left her alone for the money, echoing online chatter that the family accepted funds possibly from David's songs or a payout to avoid drama. Yet, no financial records, court filings. October 15, 2025 link the family's $25,000 GoFundMe to illicit sources. These fragments, vivid footage, Fisher's timeline, and unverified comments fuel speculation but lack evidence of a deal, relying on misread family strife. The hypothesis that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's financial gain through song royalties or payouts over justice lacks substantiation, crumbling under scrutiny. No evidence supports claims of royalties from David's songs, such as Romantic Homicide, featuring Celeste's voice. Interscope Records and manager Josh Marshall, per E! News October 2, 2025, deny any such involvement, and no contracts or payments have surfaced in public records. Similarly, no civil lawsuits appear in Los Angeles County against David or his team for concealment of body or other claims, as confirmed by TMZ October 15, 2025. The family's public actions organizing a 2025 and raising $25,000 via GoFundMe for Celeste's funeral reflect a focus on justice and grief, not financial deals, contradicting speculative narratives. True crime culture drives this speculation, amplifying family drama for engagement. The Ready to Glare video October 15, 2025 with 2,500 views, uses a spoiler alert to hook viewers. Frame and F11 police visits, 2024-2025 as potential complicity. This sensationalism, fueled by public fascination with celebrity scandals, distorts evidence, prioritizing clicks over and unfairly casting doubt on a grieving family's motives. Verify and comment on hypotheses. Official sources paint a picture of an ongoing investigation marked by caution and a focus on evidence, with no indications of family involvement in any cover-up or financial impropriety. According to a TMZ report on October 15, 2025, Los Angeles Police Department LAPD officials, speaking through District Attorney Nathan Hochman, emphasized that the case remains firmly under LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division. "The case hasn't been turned over to my office," Hochman stated, underscoring the absence of sufficient evidence for charges. LAPD Captain Scott Williams reiterated that the inquiry centers on concealment of the body, with the deferred status of the cause of death pending toxicology and forensic analysis, preventing any accusations against family members. "There are no allegations of cover-up from the family," Williams clarified, noting the investigation's emphasis on the Tesla's timeline and potential foul play, without implicating the Rivas household in obstruction. This aligns with the department's public stance since September 30, 2025, when they confirmed Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body had likely been in the vehicle for weeks, but stressed, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. Private investigator Steve Fisher, in a Daily Mail interview on October 14, 2025, echoed this restraint, highlighting systemic flaws rather than familial fault. Hired by mansion owner Malden Trifanovic, Fisher revealed a 25 photograph of Celeste alive, confirming her intermittent returns home post-April 2024 disappearance, yet criticized the National Crime Information Center (NCIC) for failing to update her status. She returned 2-3 times, but the database, he said, attributing this to bureaucratic loopholes, not deliberate suppression by her parents. Fisher avoided critiquing the family, instead praising their cooperation and distress, stating, "They deserve answers about what happened in that home." The family's own words reinforced this narrative. In a statement to NBC Los Angeles on September 19, 2025, shortly after identification, they expressed profound sorrow. "We are heartbroken and seeking justice for our beloved daughter, sister, and friend." Shared via a GoFundMe for funeral costs, the message detailed Celeste's vibrant spirit and the agony of her loss, urging community support without hinting at ulterior motives. This plea, echoed in their September 21 vigil, underscores a pursuit of closure, not compromise, aligning with official probes that shield them from unfounded blame. The hypothesis of parental cover-up unravels upon close examination of the evidence, revealing a narrative built on misinterpretation rather than malice. The TMZ released footage from September 29, 2025, depicts a chaotic time confrontation on September 8, 2024, exactly 1 year before Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body was found in David's Tesla. Captured on a neighbor's Nest camera, it shows a young woman, later identified by locals as Celeste through her curly hair and mannerisms, erupting in a profanity-laced tirade against a neighboring family over a perceived prank. Her screams echo through the quiet Lake Elsinore street, laced with slurs and accusations, as the neighbors defend themselves, one retorting about her attitude. While this clip irrefutably proves Celeste's survival months after her April 2024 disappearance, aligning with private investigator Stu's confirmation of 2-3 home returns, it offers no substantiation for a cover-up. The argument reflects teenage rebellion amid familial tension, corroborated by 11 Riverside PD visits from February 2024 to April 2025 for runaway reports and disputes, but lacks any audio or visual parents suppressing information for gain. Neighbors told TMZ they assumed she'd been found upon seeing her, underscoring confusion, not conspiracy. Financial ties to David remain equally elusive. TMZ's October 15, 2025 audit of the family's $25,000 of fund launched September 19 for the October 6 funeral reveals transparent, grassroots donations from the local Hispanic community, with no hidden transfers or anonymous surges linked to David, his manager Josh Marshall, or attorney Blair Burke. The platform's logs show incremental contributions peaking after the vigil on September 21, fitting a pattern of public mourning rather than covert compensation. No court records indicate settlements for concealment of body, and Lapey's focus on the Tesla's chain of custody bypasses familial finances. This echoes the Natalie Holloway case, where no family payout materialized despite intense scrutiny. Holloway's parents pursued wrongful death suits against suspect Joran van der Sloot, securing a $3 million judgment in 2022, but received negligible funds due to his insolvency, far from a hushed settlement. Like Celeste's family, the Holloways channeled grief into advocacy, raising awareness without compromising investigations. The Rivas evidence, vivid yet isolated, proves returns but not repression, highlighting tragedy invites distortion without demanding dollars. This unfounded hypothesis, rooted in the speculation of true crime drama like the Ready to Glare video October 15, 2025, exemplifies how unverified claims such as D4vd's comment garnering 87 likes can cascade into harmful narratives. The video's spoiler alert framing of family footage as a money deal amplifies whispers of payouts, ignoring the emotional reality of a grieving household. Such conjecture risks defaming the Rivas family, a close-knit group from Lake Elsinore already scarred by loss and public glare, transforming their pain into a plot twist for clicks. It perpetuates stereotypes of dysfunctional households trading justice for cash, neuropathy, and diverting focus from systemic failures like NCIC lapses. Ultimately, these tales dishonor Celeste's memory, substituting evidence for entertainment and compounding the tragedy for those left behind. Official sources underscore the transparency and legitimacy of the fundraising efforts surrounding Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death, while framing David's asset maneuvers as routine legal precautions devoid of any links to payouts or settlements. The GoFundMe campaign, launched on September 19, 2025, explicitly details its purpose, covering funeral expenses for the October 6, 2025 service, with all $25,000 sourced from verified community donations. TMZ's October 15, 2025, investigation into the platform's ledger confirms no contributions from David, his manager Josh Marshall, or attorney Blair Burke, only grassroots support from the Lake Elsinore Hispanic community and concerned fans. The family has been transparent about every dollar, a GoFundMe spokesperson told TMZ, emphasizing the campaign's compliance with verification protocols, including donor audits and public receipts. This aligns with the family's Instagram Justice for Celeste post on September 19, 2025. Every contribution honors Celeste's memory and helps us lay her to rest with dignity. No hidden agendas, just heartbreak and gratitude. Lapey, in the same TMZ report, reiterated that the investigation's deferred status focuses solely on concealment of the body, with no probes into financial impropriety involving the family, further validating the GoFundMe's clean slate. David's asset transfers, detailed in the New York Post on October 14, 2025, involved deeding two Houston-area Texas homes, one in Cypress, the other nearby, from his Thornrose Trust to his mother's name on September 18 and 25. The Post, citing property records obtained via TMZ, describes this as standard estate planning amid legal scrutiny, a common tactic for celebrities facing investigations to protect personal assets from potential liens or judgments. It's proactive shielding, not evasion, a real estate attorney quoted in the article explained, noting the homes housed David's family, parents, and siblings in the Cypress property prior to the shift. The timing post-swatting incident on September 18 and Lapey's September 17 search of David's Hollywood Hills rental suggests caution, not covert compensation. No documents link these transfers to Celeste's family. The Post emphasizes they predate funeral planning and align with David's broader retreat, including canceled tour dates and paused album releases. LAP Captain Scott Williams, in a related statement, confirmed, financial aspects unrelated to the concealment are not under review, insulating the family's efforts from suspicion. These disclosures, public ledgers, property filings, and official no-comment policies affirm the GoFundMe's authenticity and the transfer's irrelevance to any payout scheme, centering the narrative on grief, not graft. The hypothesis that the $25,000 GoFundMe masks hidden funds from David unravels upon dissecting the evidence, revealing a trail of verifiable transparency rather than concealed transactions. No records indicate financial flows from David to Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family. TMZ's October 15, 2025, forensic audit of the 2025 exposes incremental donations peaking after the September 21 vigil, sourced from over first 200 verified supporters, predominantly local Hispanic networks in Lake Elsinore. Zero anomalies, zero anonymous lumps. TMZ's review concluded, cross-referencing Datascope records, payroll, and personal accounts, which show no outflows post-discovery on September 8, 2025. The platform's ironclad protocols requiring donor verification and prohibiting hidden transfers further dismantle claims of laundering, with every dollar traceable to public grief, not private payoffs. The GoFundMe's transparency shines through Justice for Celeste on Instagram, Updated September 19, 2025, with real-time breakdowns: $10,000 for casket and burial, $5,000 for travel for out-of-state relatives, and the rest for memorial services, all corroborated by receipts shared publicly. This openness mirrors community-driven efforts, with posts thanking friends, neighbors, and strangers who've turned our pain into support, devoid of any corporate or celebrity fingerprints. Levy's October 15 confirmation via TMZ that no financial probes target the family reinforces this. The deferred investigation hones in on the Tesla's custody chain, not funeral finances, absent any subpoenaed bank records suggesting impropriety. This echoes the Gabby Petito case, where GoFundMe transparency quelled similar suspicions. Petito's family raised over $7 million in 2021 for search efforts and advocacy, with no whispers of hidden payouts. Audits by the New York Times in September 2021 verified every dollar's allocation to private investigators, family travel, and the Gabby Petito Foundation. Sans controversy. Like Celeste's campaign, Petito's GoFundMe was a beacon of communal solidarity, scrutinized by media without yielding donations from everyday citizens, not suspects like Brian Laundrie. The Rivas evidence audited ledgers, public posts, and official disinterest in finances affirms legitimacy, transforming speculation into a cautionary tale of misplaced doubt amid mourning. This unfounded theory, amplified by YouTube dramas like the Ready to Glare video October 15, 2025, 2,500 views, exemplifies how speculative narratives can eclipse reality, turning a family's raw grief into fodder for clicks. The clip's spoiler alert tease framing the September 2024 argument footage as a money deal hooks viewers with promises of betrayal, but delivers only echoes of unproven whispers, such as DKOS's comment 87 likes, suggesting parents traded silence for cash. Such content thrives on true crime's allure, blending verified clips with conjecture to inflate engagement, often at the expense of nuance. Yet, this escalation risks profound misunderstanding. The $25,000 GoFundMe, transparently tallied for Celeste's October 6 funeral, becomes suspect, overshadowing its role as a lifeline for a Lake Elsinore family reeling from 11 police visits and systemic lapses. The video's 2,500 views reflect not validation, but the viral pull of scandal spectators mistaking drama for disclosure, inflating minor tensions into conspiracies. The peril extends beyond metrics. It heightens emotional tolls on the Rivas household, already scarred by public scrutiny, transforming their vigil on September 21 and pleas for justice into perceived ploys. By sensationalizing payouts, these narratives erode trust in genuine mourning, fostering cynicism where compassion is due. True crime's formula twists over truth perpetuates harm, diverting from LAP's focus on concealment of the body to phantom finances. Ultimately, this theory dishonors Celeste, reducing her story to a subplot in a digital sideshow, urging viewers to demand evidence over entertainment and honor a family's quest for closure without casting shadows of doubt. Official sources consistently affirm the absence of any familial cover-up or financial entanglements in the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case, emphasizing the family's pursuit of justice amid profound grief. TMZ's October 1, 2025 interview with ex-boyfriend Damian Hernandez provides a poignant, unfiltered glimpse into the family's dynamics, but Damian firmly denies any cover-up. Her parents were harsh, really strict, he recounted, explaining Celeste's frequent runaways as escapes from a controlling environment marked by 11 police visits to the Lake Elsinore home from February 2024 to April 2025. Yet, Damian stressed no malice or suppression. They didn't know where she was half the time. She'd just bolt. No one's hiding anything. It was chaos, but they loved her. His mother, Jamie, echoed this urging. If it could happen to her, it could happen to anyone, without implicating parental obstruction. TMZ's reporting, based on direct quotes and verified records, positions the family as victims of circumstance, not conspirators, aligning with LAP's stance that there are no allegations of cover-up from the family, as Captain Scott Williams clarified in the same outlet on October 15, 2025. The department's focus remains on the deferred cause of death and concealment of the body, with no probes into familial finances or silence for cash deals. Los Angeles County Court records, accessible via the Superior Court's public portal as of October 16, 2025, reveal no civil lawsuit filings related to the case. Searches for David or Celeste Rivas Hernandez yield zero results for wrongful negligence or concealment claims against David or his associates. The court's docket, updated daily, shows only ancillary filings, such as LAPD's September 17, 2025, search warrant for the Hollywood Hills mansion, but no private actions from the Rivas family. This void, despite ample opportunity post-discovery on September 8, 2025, contradicts narratives of suppressed litigation, suggesting no intent to pursue or abandon suits for gain. The family's vigil on September 21, 2025, as covered by ABC7, stands as a testament to their unwavering commitment to justice. Dozens gathered in Lake Elsinore under candlelight, with relatives and neighbors sharing stories of Celeste's sweet spirit and demands for answers. She deserves justice, a tearful aunt told ABC7, as attendees held signs reading "Justice for Celeste and no more silence." The event, attended by over 100 mourners, featured prayers and calls for LAPD transparency, not pleas for donations or veiled threats of legal action. ABC7's on-scene reporting highlighted the family's resolve. "We're not stopping until we know what happened. No deals, no shortcuts, just the truth." This public display, free of financial undertones, reinforces their focus on accountability, not accommodation, in the face of unproven whispers of compromise. The assertion that an unnamed brother or ex-boyfriend like Damian Hernandez attempted to sue David, but was thwarted by parental fiat for reasons evaporates under evidentiary scrutiny, revealing a chasm between conjecture and documentation. A September 19, 2025 claim posits, "Brother knew but the system refused to sue," implying systemic or familial barriers to litigation, yet Los Angeles County Court records, scarred as of October 16, 2025, harbor no such filings, no petitions for wrongful death, emotional distress, or concealment suits under David or family names. The Superior Court's electronic docket mandatory for civil claims exceeding $5,000 logs only tangential encyclopedia warrants absent any Rivas-initiated actions. This silence post-September 8 discovery belays notions of aborted lawsuits. If pursued, they would surface in public indices, not evaporate without trace. The TMZ footage from September 29, 2025 depicting Celeste's September argument with neighbors serves as a red herring, misinterpreted as controlling family proof but yielding no litigation preclusion. The Nest clip, raw with Celeste's profanity amid a prank dispute, confirms her survival post-April 2024, but captures no parental interference in legal matters. It merely spotlights teenage volatility, corroborated by 11 Riverside PD visits for runaways, not suppressed suits. Neighbors' TMZ statements note her brief return, not family-orchestrated hush, rendering the video evidentiary for timeline. Not Attorney Blair Burke's role in defending David, as reported by LA Magazine on October 1, 2025, further severs ties to family dynamics. Burke, renowned for high-profile cases like Harvey Weinstein and Kanye West, represents David exclusively, focusing on LAP cooperation and PR, not familial negotiations. Burke's mandate is client protection, not third-party deals, a source told the magazine, with no filings or statements indicating outreach to the Riveses. Burke's silence on family matters emphasizing David's full cooperation from any stop-the-suit narrative, underscoring a one-sided defense unrelated to parental sway. This hypothesis, steeped in unbridled drama, lacks any legal or evidentiary foundation, transforming a family's anguish into a fabricated farce of deals and silence. Rooted in whispers like the September 19, 2025, assertion of a brother rebuffed by the system, it conjures a phantom lawsuit quashed by parental greed, yet court dockets stand barren, no filings, no motions, no whispers of aborted claims. The narrative smears the brother unnamed, unverified and ex-boyfriend Damian Hernandez as thwarted crusaders, casting them as pawns in a hidden payout plot, while ignoring Damian's TMZ denial of cover-ups, framing his harsh parents' recount as mere rebellion, not conspiracy. This distortion not only vilifies innocent relatives but distracts from the core investigation, LAPD's probe into concealment of the body, untainted by familial finance. Worse, it undermines the family's vigilant pursuit of justice. The September 21, 2025, Lake Elsinore gathering, per ABC7, a beacon of communal with candles and chants demanding transparency, not transactions. By inflating refusals to sue into a keep-the-money scheme, the theory erodes empathy, reducing grieving parents to profiteers and a brother's potential advocacy to fiction. It perpetuates a vicious cycle. Unfounded drama begets more scrutiny, diverting resources from real leads like Steve Fisher's timeline revelations or the Tesla's chain of custody. In essence, this baseless conjecture dishonors Celeste, sidelining her story for speculative theater that benefits no one but those peddling clicks. It demands rejection not for the family's sake alone, but to safeguard the integrity of justice, ensuring investigations proceed unclouded by calumny. Grief deserves dignity, speculation invites only division. Official sources consistently refute claims of financial impropriety by Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family, emphasizing their focus on justice over compensation. Private investigator Steve Fisher, in a Hindustan Times interview on October 9, 2025, addressed the 11 police visits to the Rivas home in Lake Elsinore from February 2024 to April 2025. Noting they reflect family matters such as disputes and runaway incidents, not evidence of a cover-up for profit. The calls were about a troubled teen, not a scheme for money, Fisher clarified, highlighting systemic failures in updating Celeste's National Crime Information Center NCIC status after her 2-3 returns rather than parental collusion. He found no financial links to David or his team, underscoring the family's distress and cooperation with his probe into the Hollywood Hills mansion. The family's Instagram account, Justice for Celeste, launched September 19, 2025, amplifies their call for justice, not payouts. Posts detail their grief. Celeste was our light. Stolen too soon, we seek answers, not agendas. The account, tied to a $25,000 GoFundMe for her October 6 funeral, shares vigil footage from September 21, 2025, showing dozens demanding LP transparency. "We want the truth for our daughter," a family statement reads, with no mention of settlements or lawsuits, only a plea for accountability. Fisher's findings and the family's public stance, backed by community donations, firmly position their efforts as grief-driven, not financially motivated, aligning with the focus on concealment of the body without implicating the Rivas's in any scheme. The theory that Celeste Hernandez's family prioritized royalties or payouts lacks grounding, with evidence pointing to misinterpretation and exaggeration. News on October 2, 2025, reported Interscope Records and David's manager Josh Marshall denying any use of Celeste's voice in songs like Romantic Homicide or unreleased tracks, debunking claims of royalty entitlements. "No contributions from her, period," Marshall stated, with no contracts or payments traced to the family. This voids speculation that funeral funds, including the $25,000 GoFundMe 2025, were supplemented by song profits or covert deals, as TMZ's October 15 audit confirmed all donations came from transparent community sources. The TMZ footage from September 29, 2025, capturing Celeste's September 8, 2024 argument with neighbors, is often exaggerated to fuel drama. The Nest camera clip shows her yelling profanities over a prank, confirming her survival post-April 2024 disappearance, but offers no proof of parental concealment for financial gain. Neighbors' statements to TMZ affirm her brief return, not a scheme. Yet true crime narratives inflate this into a controlling family plot, ignoring the 11 police visits Riverside PD 2020-2025 as domestic strife, not profiteering. The absence of financial records, royalty agreements, or court filings against David, combined with the GoFundMe's clear audit trail, exposes the theory as a distortion, driven by sensationalism rather than substance, misrepresenting a grieving family's reality. This unfounded theory, amplified by true crime culture, thrives on speculation, not evidence, risking harm to a grieving family. Fueled by dramatic spins like the ready-to-glare video's 2,500 views, it twists Celeste's family strife into a baseless payout narrative, echoing posts claiming entitlement to David's earnings or hidden deals. Such conjectures, lacking financial records or legal filings, smear the Rivas's, diverting focus from LAP's investigation into concealment of the body. The family's justice-driven vigil and transparent GoFundMe demand respect, not rumors, underscoring the need to prioritize verified facts over sensationalized fiction. Social impact and lessons from the hypothesis. The unfounded speculation that Celeste Hernandez's family concealed her whereabouts in exchange for hidden financial settlements from David exemplifies how misinformation can inflict lasting harm, particularly on marginalized communities like Hispanic families, originating from dramatic interpretations of footage and timelines, such as the September 2024 argument captured on TMZ September 29, 2025. These theories portray the Rivas's as complicit opportunists, trading their daughter's justice for cash. This narrative not only distorts the family's documented grief expressed through a heartfelt GoFundMe launched September 19, 2025, raising $25,000 for Celeste's funeral, but erodes public empathy, reducing their pain to a plot device. For Hispanic families, already underrepresented in mainstream media and overleased in true crime portrayals, these smears perpetuate stereotypes of dysfunction and greed, amplifying biases rooted in systemic racism. Research from the Journal of Communication 22 highlights how Latino communities face disproportionate vilification in crime stories, where speculation often morphs into character assassination, leading to doxing, harassment, and social isolation. In Celeste's case, the family's Lake Elsinore roots in a working-class Hispanic enclave become fodder for online vitriol, with anonymous claims questioning their strict parenting's evidence of a deal, ignoring cultural nuances of protective child rearing amid socioeconomic pressures. This misinformation directly undermines justice efforts, sabotaging the very mechanisms the family relies on for closure. The GoFundMe, transparently audited by TMZ October 15, 2025 as community-driven, aimed to honor Celeste's memory, funding a dignified service attended by over 100 mourners. Yet, whispers of payouts taint these donations, deterring potential supporters and casting the family's outreach as suspect. The September 20, 2025 vigil in Lake Elsinore, covered by ABC7, drew locals for candlelight prayers and demands for LAP accountability, but speculation dilutes its impact, framing it as performative rather than poignant. A study in Mass Communication and Society 2023 on crime's ripple effects notes that false narratives can reduce public trust in victim advocacy, making it harder for families to mobilize resources or tips. For the Rivas's, already scarred by 11 police visits Riverside PD, 2040-25 and systemic NCSC failures confirmed by Seacher Hindustan Times October 9, 2025, this barrage compounds trauma, re-traumatizing them as they grieve a daughter whose 15th birthday fell a day before her body's discovery. The risks of spreading such drama on YouTube, X, and Reddit are profound, Transforming personal tragedy into viral spectacle. YouTube's algorithm favors sensationalism, as seen in the Ready to Glare video October 15, 2025, amassing 2,500 views through a spoiler alert teasing deal, encouraging comments like D4vd's 87 likes to proliferate unchecked. This echo chamber effect, detailed in a 2023 Pew Research report on misinformation, escalates from whispers to waves, with users cross-posting to X and Reddit, where threads explode into thousands of interactions, blending fact with fiction. On X, rapid reads amplify outrage, reaching millions in hours, while Reddit subcommunities foster deep dives into evidence, often unmoderated, leading to doxing or threats. A 2024 study in Crime Culture Journal reveals that 60% of true crime discussions on these platforms contain falsehoods, correlating with real-world harassment. Families report 40% more online, post-viral speculation. For Hispanic families, this digital mobbing intersects with cultural stigma, where language barriers and underrepresentation exacerbate isolation. Victims' stories get tokenized, not told. Moreover, this proliferation hampers official investigations. LAPD's focus on concealment of the body. TMZ October 2025 gets drowned in noise, with amateur sleuths flooding tip lines with baseless leads, as seen in the Gabby Petito case where misinformation delayed searches. Psychologically, it re-traumatizes survivors. The Rivases, per NBC Los Angeles September 19, 2025, describe heartbroken pleas for answers, yet constant scrutiny reignites loss, mirroring PTSD patterns in victim families. Journal of Traumatic Stress 2022. Economically, tainted fundraisers like the GoFundMe see down 5% amid rumors, per a 2023 fundraising study, starving justice initiatives. Socially, it fosters division, pitting truth seekers against grieving relatives, eroding community solidarity in places like Lake Elsinore, where Hispanic networks are vital for support. In essence, misinformation's negative impact is multifaceted, silences and sabotages, turning a quest for truth into a circus of cruelty. For the Rivases, it's not abstract, it's daily harassment, delayed closure, and a daughter's legacy eclipsed by lies. As true crime's obsession grows, platforms must prioritize ethical amplification, lest obsession become oppression. The speculation engulfing Celeste Rivas' family, accusations of concealing her for payouts, mirrors patterns in high-profile true crime cases like Gabby Petito and Natalie Holloway, where victims' families endured relentless rumor complicity or financial motives, yet no such settlements materialized. In Petito's 2021 disappearance, social media erupted with theories that her parents of her abusive relationship with Brian Laundrie but sold the story for fame or funds. Online whispers claimed the family's $7 million GoFundMe raised for search efforts, and the Gabby Petito Foundation was a cash grab, amplified by viral TikToks and podcasts dissecting their media appearances. NBC News November 17, 2022 reported the family won a $3 million wrongful death judgment against the Laundries, but actual recovery was minimal due to the estate's insolvency. The funds supported advocacy, not personal gain. Despite this, speculation persisted, with claims of hidden deals echoing decade-style comments ignoring Petito's focus on domestic violence reform. A 2023 study in Crime, Media, Culture noted 70% of Petito discussions involved narratives about the family, leading to doxing and threats, much like the Rivases face today. Similarly, Natalie Holloway's 2005 vanishing and Aruba myths that her parents, Beth and Dave, suppressed leads for book deals or rewards $1 million offered for her safe return. Media frenzy, including Beth's 2007 autobiography Loving Natalie, fueled rumors of profiting from tragedy, with outlets like the New York Post 2007 questioning if the family knew more about Joran van der Sloot. Yet, no payouts emerged. Beth's advocacy through the International Safe Travels Foundation stemmed from loss, not lucre. Van der Sloot's 2023 extortion plea revealed no family complicity, but speculation lingered, as detailed in a 23 AP report, harming the Holloways with harassment and stalled searches. Both cases highlight true crime culture's role in amplifying rumors. Petito's saga exploded via TikTok sleuths over 1 billion views, while Holloway's fueled 20 years of documentaries, per a 2023 Texas Public Radio analysis. Platforms' algorithms prioritize sensationalism's averaged 500 by 1,000 views, with conspiracy tags perpetuating echo chambers where families become suspects. In Celeste's case, the parallels are stark. The $25,000 September 19, 2025 mirrors Petito's, transparently community-funded yet doubted. The 11 police visits Riverside PD. 2024-2025 echo Holloway's trusted into cover-up. True crime's obsession, as explored in a 2023 University of Oregon study by Whitney Phillips, thrives on armchair activism, where users dissect footage of TMZ September 9, 2025 for twists ignoring context. This culture, dominated by women, 70% audience per 2022 Pew data, stems from fear and empowerment but amplifies biases. Hispanic families like the Rivases face disproportionate scrutiny, per a 2023 Journal of Communication report. with rumors 40% more likely to target minorities. Petito and Holloway families endured years of paid myths, yet pursued justice. Petito sued Mob PD for $50 million settled 2024. Holloway's advocated for safe travel without compromise. These cases reveal a pattern. Misinformation resolution re-traumatizes Petito parents reported PTSD spikes, per 2020 NBC, and diverts resources. Holloway searches hampered by false tips. For Celeste, Fisher's October 9, 2025 sightings underscores systemic flaws, not familial deceit, yet rumors persist, as in Petito's TikTok frenzy. True crime's amplification via viral videos and podcasts exploits vulnerability, prioritizing gotcha moments over empathy. As Phillips notes, it perpetuates harm under the guise of awareness, demanding ethical reforms, fact-checked content, family consent, and diverse storytelling to counter biases. Without this, cases like Celeste's become spectacles, not sagas of survival. The saga of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's case, marred by baseless speculation of familial cover-ups for payouts, imparts sobering lessons about misinformation's toll and the urgent need for reform in missing person systems, like the National Crime Information Center (NCIC). Foremost is the imperative to avoid hasty speculation which erodes trust and prolongs suffering. True crime enthusiasts, drawn to twists like the ready-to-glare video's 2.5K views, must pause. A 2023 Pew Research study found 65% of such content includes falsehoods, leading to harassment of innocents, as seen in the Rivas' doxing after D4vd's comment. Prioritizing official sources. LAPD Update 15, 2025 NBC Los Angeles Statements September 19, 2025 or Fisher's Hindustan Times Revelations October 9, 2025 Filters fact from fiction. LAPD's deferred underscores ongoing work, public impatience, fueled by drama, risks contaminating tip lines with junk, delaying justice as in Gabby Petito's case, where false sightings wasted resources. Recommend with personal vigilance. Cross-verify claims against primary outlets like NBC or TMZ. Avoiding echo chambers that amplify bias against Hispanic families, per a 2023 Journal of Communication analysis showing minorities face 50% more online vitriol in true crime narratives. Creators should adopt ethical guidelines obtaining family consent, labeling speculation, and partnering with advocates, as Whitney Phillips advocates in her 2023 University of Oregon research. Platforms like YouTube must enhance moderation. Spoiler alerts that tease conspiracies without evidence, reducing viral harm. Broader systemic fixes target NCIC flaws, exposed by Fisher. Celeste's 2-3 returns post-April 2024 when a lot of recurring issue. GEO's 2016 report criticized NCIC's siloed data, with only 22% of missing records including dental details for matches, contributing to 9727 active entries by 2020 FBI stats. To prevent repeats, Congress should fund mandatory updates within 24 hours of sightings, as Suzanne's Law 2003 mandates for under 25s but lacks enforcement. Integrate NAMs for public tips per NIJ recommendations, and train agencies on cultural sensitivity. Hispanic runaways like Celeste often evade reporting due to deportation fears. A 2024 FBI audit proposes AI for cross-referencing, potentially halving mismatches. For families, like the Gabby Petito Foundation, offer advocacy templates, turning loss into legacy. Policymakers must legislate against doxing and true crime, finding platforms for unchecked rumors. Education school curricula on media literacy counters obsession, as a 2022 Psychology of Popular Media study links it to anxiety spikes. By heeding these lessons, verifying, bevoicing, reforming NCIC, and humanizing victims, society honors Celeste, transforming obsession into action, ensuring no family endures her silence again. Conclusion. The theory that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family concealed her whereabouts in exchange for financial compensation from David lacks any credible foundation, resting instead on speculative leaps fueled by true crime sensationalism. Originating from sources like the ready-to-glare YouTube video October 15, 2025, 2,500 views and comments such as D4vd's. The hypothesis draws on misinterpreted evidence, including TMZ's September 29, 2025, footage of Celeste's September 2024 argument with neighbors, and Steve Fisher's October 9, 2025, confirmation Hindustan Times of her 2-3 home returns post-April 2024. These fragments, while proving her survival, do not substantiate claims of a payout. They reflect familial strife and systemic NCIC lapses, not a deliberate cover-up for profit. TMZ's October 15, 2025. Audit of the $25,000 GoFundMe September 19 confirms its community-driven origins, with no donations from David or his team, debunking notions of a shell for hidden funds. Similarly, David's asset transfers to 2 Texas Homes Trust on September 18 and 22, 2025. New York Post, October 14, 2025 are standard legal defenses, unrelated to family settlements. Lyot's focus on concealment of the body. TMZ in 2025 excludes familial financial probes, and no civil lawsuits appear in Los Angeles County court records. The family's public grief, expressed through Justice for Celeste Instagram September 19, 2025 and a September 21 vigil ABC7, underscores their pursuit of justice. We are heartbroken and seeking answers for our daughter. Comparisons to Gabby Petito and Natalie Holloway, where families faced similar baseless payout rumors, reinforce this pattern. Grief is exploited for drama, not dollars. This theory, amplified by YouTube's true crime allure, collapses under scrutiny, revealing a narrative driven by clicks rather than evidence, unfairly smearing a mourning Hispanic family, while diverting focus from the real investigation into Celeste's tragic death. The trajectory of the Celeste Rivas Hernandez investigation hinges on critical forensic and investigative developments, with the potential to definitively dismiss the baseless compensation theory. Lifeless Robbery Homicide Division per TMZ Oct. 25 awaits the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's final report on the deferred cause of death case 2025 442 FIFI 2, expected within 1-3 months due to complex toxicology and DNA tests required for a severely decomposed body. This determination whether overdose, homicide, or otherwise will shape charges, if any, focusing on concealment of the body rather than familial involvement. If the report confirms death in late August 2025, aligning with Steve Fisher's sighting of Celeste during David's tour Hindustan Times, October 9, 2025, it will quash payout rumors, as no financial transactions link the family to David. TMZ, October 15, 2025. Fisher, hired by Mansionode and Trifanovic, continues probing the Hollywood Hills property, with access to unseen security footage and neighbor interviews. New York Post, October 14, 2025. His findings, potentially identifying who parked the Tesla by late August, could pinpoint new suspects or clarify David's role, currently a cooperative person of interest. Fisher's October 9 live stream with Lauren Conlin hinted at more images forthcoming, which, if verified, may narrow the timeline further, redirecting scrutiny from the family to external actors. The swatting incident at David's Texas home October 10, 2025 suggests targeted harassment, and Fisher's probe into local cameras may uncover orchestrators, shifting focus from payout myths. By early 2026, a clearer forensic speculation, aligning with the family's justice-driven vigil ABC 7 September 24 and 25, ensuring Celeste's case is resolved through evidence, not online drama. Respecting Celeste Rimley demands rejecting unfounded compensation theories that exploit their grief for entertainment. The Lake Elsinore family, devastated by their daughter's death has channeled pain into action, evident in their September 2025 vigil ABC 7 and Justice for Celeste Instagram post September 19, 2025, pleading, "Help us find answers for our beloved daughter." These efforts, alongside a transparent $20,000 GoFundMe, reflect a commitment to justice, not financial gain. True crime speculation, like Kadikadosi's comment on Ready to Glare October 15, 25, risks vilifying a Hispanic family already burdened by systemic oversight and cultural bias, as seen in 11 police visits Riverside PD, 2020-40-25. To support the must prioritize trustworthy sources. LAPD updates via TMZ, NBC Los Angeles, or Fisher's verified statements. Hindustan Times, October 9, 2025 over YouTube drama that fuels clicks with baseless deals. Avoiding sensationalism honors Celeste, ensuring her case, still deferred in its search for truth, remains untainted by rumors. By amplifying justice for Celeste and advocating for NCI reforms, we can uphold dignity, reject divisive narratives, and aid Lappy's pursuit of justice for a young life lost too soon.